Shemai everyone, well I'm back again, but this time with a flip through of my project life. I know I say this every time, I'm just so amazed that I've actually managed to keep up this project. I don't know about you, but sometimes I start things with great intentions and then they sort of dwindle. But I must say I'm loving doing project life, absolutely love it. So this is October. Now I can't remember if I showed you this one, so I'll just have a quick flip through. This is the week that I went on a fantastic craft retreat with the lovely Crop in the Country ladies, and it was also the weekend we finally handed over the money for the plot of land. It's been an absolute nightmare. There are so many agencies that try to slow things down, but we're there at long last. And then this gorgeous young lady here, this is Hester the Hare, made for me by my lovely friend Kay. She's such a talented knitter and crocheter. So that's that page there. I'm sure I show this at the end of my September one. That's why I'm doing it quite quickly for you. So I'm still working. I tend to work at the end of the month, and I treat it as however many weeks in the month. So here is week 40. Week 40. I can't believe I've got to week 40. And once again is a mishmash of cards and collections, because they are simply all the different cards that I've got that I've had from Stampin' Up, from all the other different places, because I have sort of collected quite a few Project Life cards with the intention of doing one of these each year. I have decided I am going to carry on with it next year. So as you can see, I just mix whichever letters I've got and numbers I mix in, and then just handwrite the dates in. So this is the week that our lovely niece had her second little baby. This is Hadley. And there he is with his big brother Reuben, who was absolutely delightful. I've scrapped lots of photos of him. And, oh, look at that. And this is also when we went over to the plot. And I know it seems really simple, but we've been waiting to see this for a long time. On the ground was sprayed plot 4. And I thought it went perfectly with this card here. And also a sad event this week, because it's actually been 15 years on the 10th of October since I lost my sister. And I just think it's important in Project Life that you talk about the sad things as well as all the happy things. Otherwise, well, nobody's got a perfect life, have they? So that's what I talk about on that card there. I talk about that every day. I think about her, the pain of losing her never goes away. And that's absolutely true. So we're on to week 41 now. Now I've run out of ones, so I just used a capital I. Nobody would have known until I've just announced it. And then we went looking for kitchens, even though the foundations haven't been dug. You sort of start thinking ahead, only because we wanted to plan. We've already planned what the kitchen's going to look like, but you need to know where all the soil pipes and all the rest of it goes. So there we are. I took some photos of the brochures we were looking through. Then I talked about how in the real world I've had parents meetings, which is really tiring, but the parents were fantastic. And then this photo is really dark. It's just that we'd had the phone call to say that the big excavator was finally over at the plot. Somebody had started, but the excavator they had was too small, so they started on clearing some of the ground ready for the big excavator. So I'm actually stood in the bucket of the big excavator there, and I found this card and thought that'd make a perfect filler card. And then on the Sunday then, Lee and I went over, and Izzy was absolutely fascinated by the excavator. And here she is, Digger Dog. So as you can see, the next few months is going the new house is going to feature very, very heavily. So this was the last week of school. It's been a long half term. I love the new term, but 8 weeks, sometimes you get to the end of it, and I was ill in the middle of it, but managed to keep going. And we had first aid training, and I took some photos of us busy. And here's my friend Diane doing a little bit of CPR, as you do. Then, so exciting because they actually started digging on the Monday of half term, and Lee was home and we went over to watch it, and we watched the first cut. On the Sunday, we've had some horrendous weather in Wales lately. We've had some really, really bad rain and some really bad flooding. We were supposed to have gone up to North Wales to watch the Snowdon Marathon, but sadly the weather was so awful, we didn't want to risk driving in it. So this was the first sunny day we'd had for ages, and in the distance here, there it is the church I got married in. I know it looks like just a spot on the landscape there. And I just talking about there how the rain has stopped. So this was us over at the plot. It was absolutely freezing, but we were determined to watch the ground start to move. Then I've been starting things for Christmas craft fairs, and I had one the night before Halloween, so I'd made up some of these little Halloween craft boxes there with little sweets inside. So this is week 43, so there's just 9 weeks left. Here's my 2 little great nephews there, too cute to spook. My first craft fair. There's my setup there. I always take a photo of the setup just to see if it helps me the next time. I've never had a round table before, but so it was quite hard to show things off to their best. I didn't actually do that well on this one. There were lots of people looking and saying how lovely things were, but not many people buying. But it was such a fantastic cause that I really enjoyed the evening. Then here are some of the plates I've been making. So here's one. Snacks for Santa and Rudolph, love Reuben and Hadley. That's my little great nephews there. We went over then on the Friday and lots of ground had been moved. So there's some photos there of us over at the plot. But also this week has been a bit horrendous because my mum has been really poorly, and we were concerned that she had sepsis again. My mum has suffered with Crohn's for about the last 18-19 years. She's also got a very arthritic hip and needs a new hip. So we're hoping to see that she'll have an operation soon. But in all fairness to her, she's such a fighter, she never ever complains. So that's week 43. I wonder what's going to happen now in week 44. Well, I know that in the lead up to Christmas in school, it is always absolutely bonkers. I love this time of year in school. So as you can see, to make it easier for myself, I put all the cards in ready, because it's quite simple then if I want to switch around some cards. And I've also got now, I've got too many cards in here now really, because I'll be taking some of these out probably, but I've also got all my ones in for Christmas, because I know I've shown you how I'm going to set up my December daily this year, but I still want to continue my project life for December and still do it on a weekly basis. So there's some more filler cards ready and waiting. But as if I haven't got enough to do, I wanted to do a project to remember everything that's happening with the house build. Look how thick that album is now. I'm just going to show you this, and this isn't finished yet. I've got another 9 weeks left yet. We'll need extra strong joists in this house just for my photo albums. So I've actually started a little 6x8 album. I'm going to decorate the front of it. And this is going to be all about the house build. And I don't know whether I've got enough things here actually. What we wanted, my husband and I, is for when people come to visit, and it's nice to see where you started, isn't it? So we've got the whole process. So I found these cards. I'm sure these are Becky Higgins ones, but I can't remember when I had them. So this talks about the whole thing. This is our first visit to the plot, knowing that we were buying it. Now let me just explain. The plot isn't all the way over there. The plot is here, you see what I mean, is one plot on a development. There's not that many houses going on there, but, and then with all this excitement then, we had the architect in and Lee worked out the levels. So this is the day he went over and we were trying to find out the level of the house. So I just called it X marks the plot. And to be honest, we've probably lost the plot a few times since then. And then we're talking about the plans, how we wanted my husband does a lot of carpentry. So we wanted a huge garage. So the bottom layer of the house is all garage. Then we've got stairs that come up the side. This is the lounge. We've got the kitchen, the utility room. Then we've got the bedrooms. This at the front is going to be the cinema room. And then at the back of the house then will be the craft room. And Lee keeps reminding me it's probably one of the biggest rooms in the house. I don't believe him. I think he's just saying that to me. But I talk about the huge delays because we needed a 104 in place, which took months and months and months and months. Welsh Water slowed it down by about 10 to 11 months, the whole process. Then we had another stressful thing with the council. Planning permission, which we had to put back in a second time. But on the 23rd of September, after putting it in mind in March, 23rd of September, we actually had our planning permission through. So that's what this one talks about. Still by now, mind, we haven't actually purchased the land. This is how bonkers the whole thing has been. In all fairness, the seller of the land has been fantastic. So then after such a long time, we exchanged on the land, never thought it would happen. And that was the 4th of October 2019. So this is going to be our view from our house. Actually, because our house is so much higher, we'll see over the top of those houses. And we see the land there and all across here. So we can look across the valleys. And then, as you can see, I'm duplicating some of the photos in my project life. And then, talking about how the first cut again. And the bizarre thing is that this week we've actually chosen our kitchen and ordered it. And hopefully then, as soon as the house is watertight, the kitchen will be stored in the house, ready to be put in. And the week, it's been amazing how much has changed in just a week. So that's my new project now. So I have decided that next year I'm going to continue with my project life. And if you are watching this and thinking I'd like to give it a try, here are my quick tips for making it easier. Somebody recommended, which has been really helpful, to keep the orientation of your pages pretty similar. So what I tend to do is month by month, I set up my page protectors in a similar way. Let me explain. So to start with, if you can see here, it's got the 2, the 4 and the 2. I tried to carry that on for as long as I could. Then, as you can see, that went on for a long time through the book. Then it changed to this one where you've got the 2 larger ones down the side and then 4 skinny ones down the centre. So I did lots and lots like that. And then changed again, but I tried to keep a run of them the same then. So when I went through them, I just kept, on the Stampin' Up ones, it's got a little code to tell you what kind they are. So I've kept lots of 6s together, lots of 2s together. And then this one, then the 5s, where you've got the 2 big ones, 2 little ones, 1 big one, 2 little ones. So that's probably one of the easiest things I would say, is to keep the orientation of your cards the same, because then when you're printing photos for that month, you know which sort of size you've got to print them. The other thing I would say is to fill your album ready. Just go through your cards, fill all the slots ready, because it's simple to change them out if you need to. But also, if you've got a month where you're particularly busy, at least then you can just slot things in. The other thing I tend to do is I use post-its throughout the month, that if something's happened and I think, right, that's going on this week here, I just write some post-it ideas down of what I've done. So when I come to actually print my photos and do all my journaling, all the ideas are there. I back all my photos up to Google Photos, which then has the date. So at the end of each month, then I look through Google Photos to see what I've taken. I also use Facebook and Instagram for a similar reason, just so I can look through there and see exactly what I've done. It has been a really, really rewarding project. And I've just got 9 weeks to go. I can do this. The finish line is in sight. But I am determined that I'm going to do it again next year because I've loved it. I've loved just looking through each month and just remembering all the mundane things, but all the things that actually make up our life, isn't it? It's not all full of special occasions. There's lots of things, lots of weeks where nothing really as exciting has happened, but something might have been funny on your time hop, or someone might have sent you a card for something, or you went on a really nice walk. And Project Life is perfect for recording and remembering all that sort of thing. So thank you so much for joining me. Presently, I am 5 subscribers off 600. So if you haven't yet subscribed and would like to make somebody very, very happy, I'd be delighted if you hit the subscribe button. And if you hit the little notification bell, it will tell you when I share my next video. So I shall see you soon. And my Project Life will see you at the end of November. How scary is that? Thank you so much for joining me. Hwyl fawr. Take care. Bye.